Hey everyone, welcome back to the Northern Minutemen podcast. I'm here with Sam and Blake.
We are back. It's
Yeah,
been a
Made it.
long time.
yeah. I think what ultimately we intended to be a 2 to 3 week break turned into a 6 weeks.
Has
Or
it been 6 weeks?
I'd say probably five.
Wow, that's a
Wow.
long time, man.
Dude, it doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Time does fly.
Yeah, it's been about five because we stopped just before Christmas Eve, right? It was like the 20th we stopped.
Yes.
So yeah, um, but unexpectedly, at least I think for both of us, things got wonderfully busier than expected. And so then that time off was necessary. I think that if anything had to give, it was the podcast, just because people are spending time with their families and we're trying to navigate our businesses in the coldest time of year and one of the coldest parts of the country. So, you're back from a huge event with big things we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, but now we find ourselves able to take a minute and come back and talk. So, yeah, with that being said, what is SHOT Show?
Oh my lord. Most people have heard about SHOT Show. Other than everybody I mentioned it to at church, nobody had an idea of what SHOT Show was. They didn't even know what it was. But it's the world's largest dealer show for people in the industry. So you have to be an FFL holder to go to the show. It is not open to the public, but every major manufacturer in the country is there.
Everybody.
And then everybody who owns a store goes to make deals with those manufacturers.
Okay. Wow. So huge.
Humongous.
It's
Okay.
insanely.
150,000 people attend, and there are 2,400 vendors. And it takes up the entire Venetian Forum and the Caesars Forum convention centers
In Vegas.
in Vegas.
So, the home sport and travel show, but
Yes.
25 times bigger than that.
No, man, probably more like 1,000 times bigger than the Home
Okay.
Sport and Travel Show.
Because I know a lot of people that are going to listen to this know what the home sport and travel show is.
Mhm.
Kate has even had a booth there. So that times,
Yeah, so the difference is like Home Sport and Travel Show is full of consumers, people walking around checking out products, and they're there to be entertained and just to look at stuff and, just to look at things and maybe buy something. SHOT Show is if you're a manufacturer and you set up there, every single person that walks by your booth is someone who owns a store who is looking to buy your products and put them in their store. So these are serious people. It's a building full of buyers.
the greatest networking.
It's the greatest networking
Ever.
event that has to deal with firearms and suppressors in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe because I stalked your Facebook page while you were gone. Like,
Good job.
I didn't know how else to support it. Wishing because, like, I'll admit, like, I knew what SHOT Show was or is, and I didn't know just how big it was. So when you said you were going to SHOT Show, I was like, cool, have
Yeah,
fun.
Cool. Have fun. See you later.
And then I'm starting to see this stuff, and my jaw's on the floor. Like, should I have invited myself? It's
Mhm.
like, this is a big deal. Like, I was blown away by the names. Like the
They're all there.
Koenig shooting team was
Yeah.
there. Koenig, sorry. And what amazed me the most was seeing your suppressor on a Henry lever action rifle.
In the booth.
Yeah,
had idea.
they
So it
had
was like,
how many suppressors could they have chosen, and they chose yours?
1 million. So we went up there to record a video, and none of the guys in the Henry booth could tell us how our suppressor ended up on one of their guns. They just said our marketing team in Wisconsin sent these guns and sent these cans, and they wanted us to display these on there.
That's the best way for that to happen, I think.
I thought it was a huge compliment.
Like
Yeah.
they picked, maybe they just picked locally, but
No, they picked the best of the best. They did,
Yeah.
honestly. They had, I mean,
it's the quietest 22 can.
mhm.
And yeah, that's a
Dude,
huge.
it was amazing.
Um,
That blew my mind.
so did Did you see any booths for like gunsmiths there?
Not
Didn't see any booths. I saw a handful of guys walking around with a gunsmith tag on their badge.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of gunsmiths that attend, but I don't know if there's honestly, I didn't have a lot of time to look around. I mean, I walked around the show a lot,
Yeah.
but I was mostly mesmerized by like the FN booth. They spent $5 million on their booth for a 4-day show.
Their booth was insane. There was booths there that had stairs, offices. I'm talking like plants in that office.
And they build it 6
TVs.
days before the show. And it's honestly, SHOT Show, a lot of it is just a giant industry flex
Oh, absolutely.
where they're like, hey, look at how amazing our company is. Do business with us later. We don't even want to do business with you now, but look at how big and how amazing our company is.
Wow.
I mean, billions of dollars spent at that show.
Oh my gosh.
And I bet everyone probably left easily able to justify the investment. I follow a handful of gunsmiths on social media, and I saw a lot of them there. But yeah, I never saw them in a
Mm-mm.
booth. It was always shaking hands or schmoozing, taking pictures, and that's really cool because as gunsmiths, we're always looking for the next item for our shop. Is there an advanced jig that will help make our job easier?
I did see a lot of that. I saw a lot of lathes. I saw a lot of gunsmithing tools.
Yeah, that's
Whatnot.
cool. Like, I bet Wheeler was there, Wheeler Engineering. I would have liked to have spoken with them. I'm still uh, a small gunsmith, and going to SHOT Show is probably an ideal opportunity to introduce people to your logo. Like, I exist, and here's what I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, so it's amazing. I ignorantly enough didn't realize that SHOT Show was as big as it is. And you had a booth.
Yeah.
Off-Grid Suppressors had a booth.
Yep. Our
Um,
first time at the show, I've never been to it before, and we went
Yeah.
as a vendor.
That's a big deal.
I've
That's
always been reluctant to go as a purchaser because of how much I could spend.
Yeah.
But we signed up last minute to go because we won the Thunder Beast competition in November.
Mm.
As soon as we had that, I was like, we have to go to SHOT Show,
Yeah.
because now we have something to sell. And we were very, very busy.
So what did you hope to gain or expect to get out of the investment?
We went to establish a dealer network to sign up dealers who have shops that sell cans, because the hottest thing in the firearms world right now is the suppressor industry, because the tax stamp recently went away
Yep.
28 days ago. So everybody is really expanding on suppressors, and then being able to tell them, hey, we have the number one 22 can in America. Now's a great chance to get them in your store and sell them.
And I still love how that's a statement of fact. Like
Yeah.
that is indisputable,
Yep.
And yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited for you that you were able to go as a vendor and come away with it with probably more than you'd hoped.
Yeah. How much work did we come back with, Blake?
Months. I have been on the phone calling people for the last day and a half.
How much of a stack do you have left to go through?
All of it.
Tip of the
It's-
iceberg.
Yeah.
You
I'm
keep-
just scratching the surface.
You keep
like-
adding to it.
Yep.
Or,
Before SHOT Show, we had a lot of dealer submissions, people interested in carrying a product. And a lot of those people were like, okay, maybe later. I'm not ready to place an order yet. Since we've gotten back from SHOT Show, every single dealer we call is ordering. Nobody's saying later. They're saying, yes, send me
I'll
product.
take 6 of these. I'll take 10 of those. I'll take 2 more of these.
So-
What do you need from me? I want these in my store.
so taking off-grid suppressors to SHOT Show showed the world how big off-grid suppressors already is, but just how big it's going to be.
Yeah. I think it was a validating moment where people see, hey, this company is for real, and they're big enough to be at SHOT Show as a vendor. I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem like you would have to do that. But I think stores see like, hey, you were at SHOT Show as a vendor. Like, now I want to do business with you.
When
It's
you're-
weird. It's a weird dynamic.
I think that when you're entering an industry with like Silencer Co. and even Sig makes their own suppressor,
Yep.
you know,
Huxworks and Rugged and Yankee Home Machine. Anyways.
and to go there with credentials to your suppressors, and then a suppressor that when people hold in their hands weighs next to nothing and does so much, and they just look ridiculously cool. How can you think anything else other than off-grid suppressors is they're a big name and they're just gonna continue to get bigger.
Thank you. I hope you're right.
Me too.
No, it will
But
be. It will
yeah,
be, but it's weird. It's like people acknowledge that you are an actual brand name when you go to an event like this.
you
And
know,
that's what we've been trying to establish for 2 years now is, hey, we're a household name. Like,
it makes me think a lot or it makes me think a lot about, there are some new names in the firearms industry manufacturing firearms, and we
mhm.
just mentioned one of them.
Yeah,
They're
Canik.
they're not too terribly old, are they? They're 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Canik is, but I'll tell you what, their booth was awesome.
Their booth
Yeah.
was amazing.
Taran Butler was there, which I am now texting buddies with Taran Butler.
That happened.
Yeah, so
I'm sending him cans, by the way.
I think you're a lot closer to your dream coming true of seeing an off-grid suppressor in a movie.
That is my one goal.
It's
In sending a
amazing.
suppressor to Taran Butler, who owns the range in California where all the John Wick movies, like where they prepare for the action scenes. Keanu Reeves goes to Taran's range to practice how he's going to perform in the movie. So by sending him suppressors, guess who's going to be shooting an off-grid suppressor? John Wick.
Well, they need to make another movie, and he needs to be quiet about his revenge.
Man, I was so excited to meet Taran Butler. It was awesome.
That was amazing.
I kind of fangirled over him a little bit.
That was he did. It was funny.
So hundreds, if not thousands, of big-time, big-name vendors, tens of thousands of big-named
Yep.
individuals. Anybody come to mind that jumps out to you that you want to share?
I'm sending suppressors to Marcus Luttrell.
No kidding.
Yep, met him, got to shake his hand. I pulled out all my information and I gave it to him. And I said, hey, I'm a big fan of yours, always have been. I want to gift you a suppressor. I just need you to email me where I'm going to ship it to. And he goes, oh man, that's crazy. He's like, I was just asking my buddies the other day, I'm looking for a 22 can, which one that they would recommend. And I was like, well, I got the perfect one for you.
Probably asking his Navy SEAL buddies.
And he said, this is his exact words to me. He said, you know what? During the zombie apocalypse, what gun would you take? And I said a 22. He goes, exactly. Quiet, weighs nothing, ammo's plentiful.
Yep.
I was like, man, that's crazy.
And dang it, Marcus, what are you doing after this?
Just a super down-to-earth guy.
Any celebrities? Like, I'm kind of leading into.
I met Ted Nugent.
Did you?
I'm giving Ted Nugent suppressors too. I told him that my one of the things on my bucket list in life was for us to be in a helicopter together. I'm behind a minigun shooting hogs, and he's on an electric guitar playing the national anthem. That's the exact reaction he had. He was laughing. He's like, dude, I don't even know. I don't even know what's wrong with you.
He's like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with you?
He was
You
like-
make me want to do this.
He was like, security.
If you would have said that to him at a Walmart, maybe. But if anywhere it was okay to talk like that, it may have been SHOT Show.
The number one guy was Jack Carr. My buddy and I, Dan, he came with us to SHOT Show. He's from the cities. We were on the same boat together. Good friend of mine. Amazing guy. Him and I were walking down a side hallway, and I see Jack Carr standing up he was doing a small podcast at the show with some small-time podcaster. And he stood up, and I elbowed Dan, and I was like, Dan, that is Jack Carr. And Dan was like, no way, because he's as big of a fan of Jack Carr as I am. Like, we were going to drive to Michigan just to go to a meet and greet book signing, which was like a 10-hour drive. We were going to do that. Fell through. Anyways, I elbow him. I'm like, dude, that's Jack Carr. So I walk right up to him. I was like, Jack, shook his hand. We got to visit with him uninterrupted for 10 minutes.
Must have been heaven.
It was.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, hey, I'm here. I've got a booth. We're making a futuristic, ultra lightweight suppressor using 3D printing technology. I was like, book idea. You're a giant gear guy. You described the watch, the boots, the dagger, the tomahawk, the gun, the suppressor. I'm like, your next book should include a futuristic 3D printed ultra lightweight titanium suppressor. He's like, oh man, that is a good idea. I'm like, I'm going to send you one. so that you can play with it, and then it might end up in your book. He's like, could happen.
Which would then end up in the movie that they make of the book.
See what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it into a movie.
You're making dreams come true.
Oh my
Yes, he
gosh.
is.
That's exciting.
Dude, Jack Carr is a super humble, super down-to-earth guy.
And for anybody that doesn't know, Jack Carr is an author, but he's also a Navy SEAL. And the books that he has written are now Amazon
Prime
a
series
miniseries,
is
that Chris Pratt plays the leading character in.
Aimpoint paid Jack Carr, we don't know how much, anywhere from $100,000 to $1 million to sit in their booth for half an hour. That's how big of a deal Jack Carr is. Like, they paid him a lot of money.
I would pay him in McDonald's gift certificates. I'm not as big as Aimpoint, but the guy's got to eat. He might take me up on that.
Funny thing about McDonald's, we got to Minneapolis before we flew out to the show, ate McDonald's. First thing we did when we got back, ate McDonald's.
Yeah, my wife wasn't happy.
No.
No, she doesn't like McDonald's.
We started a tradition.
A gut turning,
Yep.
fighting for the bathroom one.
Absolutely.
No,
No?
it's good for you.
Well, it might be the first time, but you make a habit out of that and your waist will grow and you'll break a toilet. Jack Carr made a video that I watched on your Facebook page, and your booth was actually part of that video.
Actually, it was when Dan and I met Jack. So he has a whole crew with him, like videographers, and he's got a publicist, and they're all with him. And I didn't know they were recording, but that video was on Jack Carr's website. And I took it off of Jack Carr's website and shared it on my Facebook page. And when I met him, I was like, dude, mission accomplished. And that's what you see in the video is when I was super fangirling over Jack Carr.
Yeah.
And he put it in his video.
I love that.
Which was awesome.
Yeah. That.
I mean, first time at SHOT Show and then find out at SHOT Show that you're in Jack Carr's video, I was like, how can this get better?
Well, you got to redo your bucket list now.
I have to totally redo it.
This is exciting. I'm really happy you went, and I'm glad that so much came from it. And I don't think anybody yet can even estimate the entirety of what's to come.
We know we did something great at the show by being there and having a booth, but we don't know what we did. And it's like ripples, just the amount of business we've gotten since we've gotten home has more than paid for the booth it's expensive to be in there. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, and I think every time somebody new gets a suppressor in their hands, with each customer you win over, that network grows.
It grows.
Just like a branch of a tree, they'll tell their friends.
People talk. Word of mouth is the best advertising you can get.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I ran radio ads in Bemidji, and I don't think it did a damn thing for me.
It might have gotten you one guy, and then that guy told 10. That's what word of mouth advertising does for you.
I had a list for, I don't know, maybe a year where I'd ask everybody, did you hear us on the radio? Was it a Facebook ad or where? So many of them, probably 85% of them, word of mouth.
Yeah.
And then there were the Facebook ad folks, but not one person said they heard us on the radio. But yeah, you're probably right. Someone may have heard me on the radio and told their friend, and then who came to my shop.
Yeah. And the thing about advertising is people don't remember where they heard of you, but that's what it does. It's repetitive. It's top of mind advertising. They drive by, see a billboard, and then they don't remember that they saw it, but it's in their brain. And then, that's marketing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm glad that there's a lot for us to talk about, but first and foremost, I think the most important thing for us to have talked about was SHOT Show.
Yeah.
So, but if we can shift gears a bit, Minneapolis is burning down, and what in the world is going on? It started with the Leering Center when the whole Somali daycare scam was being uncovered by some young man with a camera, and then what was her name? Renee Good got shot, and that whole thing, I'm sure everybody's got their own opinion, and I've got mine, and mine probably doesn't mesh with a lot of people, but I think that was finally the lid getting ripped off that can of worms that had been festering in Minneapolis for probably since, Walz took office. It is nothing but a platform for liberals to whine and Democrats to point their fingers at Republicans when ICE is just doing their job. These rats running around Minneapolis trying to steal all the money from taxpayers and take over the voter rolls and not register in the process are ruining our democracy from Minneapolis out. I think that if something wouldn't have been done, if what is being done wouldn't have been started, I guess what I'm trying to get at is we are just starting to see the beginning of it. There's got to be this network of criminal activity that starts in Minneapolis or St. Paul and is spread to Michigan and North and South Dakota. It's just how they operate.
Yeah.
It's how they operated in Somalia and Afghanistan and Iraq, and they're doing it here. And from the ignorance of liberal love and acceptance and peace, whatever they want to call it, the wool is over their eyes and they're taking advantage of them in every way possible.
Yeah.
And they think the only way to solve any criminal activity or any intended people coming into this country and executing on their desire is to just be nice to them. No.
Yeah. So at SHOT Show, we all wear badges and it says where we're from. It's got your name, your company, and where you're from. And the fact that we were from Minnesota kind of made us the laughing stock of SHOT Show. It was embarrassing to tell people that we were from Minnesota, but obviously we're like, hey, we're from Minnesota. And then came the joke, and everybody was like, oh boy, Minnesota, what? I was
Right.
like, yeah, I don't know what's going on either, man. It's just chaos. So that's the world in general.
Yeah.
The world in general is chaos, and chaos loves company, and chaos is attractive for some reason.
Well,
Like when there's chaos in the room, people want to get involved in it. Like it draws you in, it sucks you in, but the world is just chaos, dude.
through chaos, you hope to gain control
Maybe that's it.
and submission. Like looking at World War II, a large part of the chaos was by design. And of course, first you had 3/4 of a country get brainwashed to jump on the chaos bandwagon, to think that things like the Holocaust were okay.
That's a good point. I would agree that all chaos is designed, and I think that's what we're seeing is
Yeah.
just designed chaos.
Well, you've got these lobbyists that sit back, make all the money, and make all the decisions that push the idea, push the agenda, push the ill intent out onto the streets, print the signs, tell people what to say,
Mhm.
and then these people with no lives or no jobs, nothing else to do, grab these signs that are made by someone like George Soros or Hillary Clinton, and then just go out and do what they're told. They're not out there with their own intent or passion or agenda.
Mhm.
They're just getting, McDonald's gift certificates on the back end from somebody,
Maybe.
because there cannot be that many people who feel that passionately about such ignorance. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Somebody's is pulling the strings, and they're doing it to create fractures and instability in our society and in our communities to where they can step in and somehow take control.
Yeah, and you just kind of ask yourself, like, why? Why go through all of this?
Yeah, what is
You know,
keeping
why?
them what is keeping them from leaving everyone alone? They're going to die someday just like the rest of us. What in the world makes them want to have it all before they leave and then likely burn in hell? But that's I'm not one to point fingers because there are days I wonder where I'm going when my heart stops.
Well, you should know
Well,
for a fact.
I would like to think that I know, but I worry because like I have sinned and fallen short of the glory
Well,
of God.
everybody has, but
and
that's something you literally shouldn't worry about.
Well, I do it 100 times a day. And I'm worried that what's gonna happen is, like, I sin and then get hit by a truck, and I don't have a chance to repent, and
No, 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 no.
I'm trying to make light of it, but, we're all gonna die someday, and I do what I can to make sure that when I go to heaven, I'm there waiting for my kids.
Yeah, you're going first.
I hope so.
That's the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. If I have to hold my child up so he can catch his breath when we're
Yep.
drowning in a lake, I
Yep.
will inhale water
You're
before
going
they do.
first.
And
That's
it
every dad's goal.
But it's a great question I wish I could find an honest answer to. Why? Why do they have such desire to control everybody?
Because it's of the world.
It's money.
It's the things of this world they don't matter. And this chaos and this craziness that's happening in the cities, like, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
And
none of it matters at all.
and
But it's
I
attractive, and that's why we keep talking about it.
I remember one of the first conversations we had about the success that comes with owning your own business. And you'd say,
It's not always success, Holmes. Uh-uh.
well,
It's blood, sweat,
right,
tears,
right. But we were talking about,
7 days a week.
I said something like, you should take credit for this. You've got to give yourself credit for it. And you said, it's God.
It is God's.
You're right. And I really, it bugged me. Like, out of religious ignorance, out of not quite understanding why you said that, I was just like, why would you say that?
We don't actually own anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
we're just put in charge of some things, and then it gets taken away, and you're doing something else.
I have struggled immensely the last few months with seasonal effectiveness disorder.
Mhm.
I was on some sort of an antidepressant by the VA while I was on dialysis and while I was in kidney failure, and it was all the VA doctors said things are going to get tough, so take this pill. And this winter was my first winter in Minnesota without any medication. So instead of going back to a pill, I really started to just dive into why do I feel this way? And then you read the Bible, you read biblical books that talk about it, and you start really getting into the layers of, you know, every season has its purpose. And I have grown closer to God, more familiar with who I am post transplant and why I'm here. And I've started to discover these realizations and answer these questions for myself. And along the way, your comment starts to make sense. I'm a gunsmith and I'm becoming more and more successful because of God. And you put God first, you speak of God, you share the story, and you understand and acknowledge that your business is where it is and going the direction that it is because of God. And if
100%.
you continue to do that, well, your business is going to continue to grow as long as your involvement and sharing and giving the credit to God continues to grow with it. If you continue to grow and your bills get paid off and you're raking in the cash by the truckload and then you quit talking about God, well, then something else is going to take its place. So,
Exactly. So, big thing is my business or my company is not my God.
right.
Like, it can't love you back. It's a thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't hold a position of importance. I mean, it's important, but it's not an idol. Like, I would walk away from all of this in a second if God was like, I need you to go live in Honduras and be a minister. Like, I would go do that.
N- I think what I'm realizing through dealing with this seasonal affective disorder the way that I am for the first time is that if my heart and mind are in the right place, this has its purpose and it will come to pass. But I will come out the other side of it closer to God and better off than when the days became shorter. But your comment of, it's all God. This is God's work, or I can't quite remember what you had said, but the credit is God.
Yeah, exactly.
This this
Anytime somebody tries to heap credit on me for something that I didn't do, it's like, dude, that's not mine. I don't get to claim this. Like,
Yep.
all of this is God's stuff.
and I
Pass or fail, it's God's stuff.
and I really respect that now that you're simply putting God where he needs to be,
First.
where he should be. Right, right.
Yeah.
If you don't put gas in the car, pretty soon you're going to run out and be stuck
Right.
somewhere. So,
Right. And I'm
eh,
not perfect. I don't
right.
do this all the time, but anytime I catch myself where I'm like, look at what I did. That's what King Solomon did. He stood on top of his palace and he looked across the city that he was responsible for and he said, "Look at how great I am." And what do you think happened when he said that? God struck him down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't work like that, man. This isn't my kingdom.
So, but yeah, I'm learning to do that more and more.
And the more and more you do that, the more and more the blessings get heaped on you. so many blessings. You're like, I don't deserve any of this. Why does this keep happening? It's because you're not in love with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it won't love you back.
Yeah, I wish the blessings would come when it's warm out and I could be in the shop more, because
Yeah.
I will not turn someone away because it's cold. I'll
Yeah.
take the gun, but I'll take it with the caveat of it's going to be a while. I'm going to get it in line. That being said, I think I'd mentioned it before we hit record, but with the time of year and how cold it is, for several reasons, it's hard to be in the shop. Even with the two space heaters, and then I got the big propane heater going, it takes work to get the shop the ambient air temperature to the point where I can survive out there. But then my steel
Well, I mean, it
lathe
was
is
60 below zero the other day. You telling me you weren't in the shop turning barrels when it's 60 below zero?
nope.
You should have seen the look on. So at SHOT Show, the day it was 60 below, we were at SHOT Show. There was this colored dude that was helping me put my suppressor in the new product showcase. And he's like, Minnesota, what's the temperature up there right now? And I was like, sir, believe it or not, it is 60 below zero. And he was like, 60? I was like, no, minus 60. He was like stunned. He stopped. He was like, say what?
Mm,
People can't fathom how
He
cold it
couldn't
gets
even,
here.
he's like, can you even breathe oxygen when it's 60 below zero? I'm like, no, you hold your breath and then you run to your car and then you pray to God that it starts.
it's amazing how air can be so cold it will make you cough
Yeah.
when
Oh,
you
yeah.
try to breathe it in.
Yeah.
Breathing hurts.
Well, I mean, the inside of your lungs is what, 98.6 degrees
Hmm?
Yeah.
minus 60? What's the temperature difference?
You can welcome the pneumonia one breath.
Yeah, your flesh is freezing.
Oof. No, it's so I can get the air temperature warm enough to go out there and I don't know, clean or move some stuff around just to say I did something for the day. But the oil in my lathe is still frozen. And by frozen, I mean it's not viscous enough to pump.
What temperature does that have to be at to be viscous enough?
Not negative 60, probably closer to 60.
It's cold when your oil has frost on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
But I think out of ignorance last winter, I was in my shop working, and even the lathe bed and the saddle and everything was cold to the touch. I was out turning barrels, and that was when one of my seals failed. I looked down at my little peep glass at my oil level, and it's like not there. Like, where's my oil at?
Oh, no.
And I had to add quite a bit of oil back to my lathe. And then, you open up the back of the lathe and you see all your gears and stuff, and they're not supposed to be wet, but everything's shiny. My belts are shiny. And I had someone from Acme Tools, which is a certified jet lathe mechanic, come out and look. And he's like, yeah, this seal here has failed. And he gave me a printout and showed me which little seal. And he said, I called Jet and they don't make that seal anymore. What do? You keep adding oil and cleaning up the mess. But I'm convinced that little 89-cent seal was produced at an industrial level and is used in 1,000 different places outside of jet lathe.
Yep.
And I just need to keep searching with the part number or something.
Yep.
But I refuse to believe that $12,000-$13,000 lathe is
Yeah. They only made 5 seals ever.
right.
I doubt it.
So if it was Jet's tactic to push me into a new lathe, they failed. Because if I'm going to buy a new lathe, I'll go buy a different brand just because of Jet doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so frustrating. You put that kind of money into a lathe, and you should have a seal for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was backward for me. So yeah, it is really cold, and I'm not in my shop as much as I would like to be. I'm not getting firearms back to my customers as quickly as I would like to be. And I am so thankful that they are patient with me and that they don't, if they complain, it's to someone else, it's not to me. Because that just makes I feel terrible. When people get mad enough to really tell me how they feel, which is unbelievably rare, I will work myself to exhaustion just to satisfy that customer and get them down the road. I'll flag them in my phone and not answer it next time. But yeah, so I feel terrible that I'm not able to get things done. Like, because I have Cerakoting work and I've got a couple barrels I need to engrave the calibers on. And what would happen to a laser cabinet if I fire it up and it's got moisture settled on everything? I don't know.
Is it like putting tinfoil in a microwave?
I don't put tinfoil in the microwave. I don't know.
I'm just speculating. I don't know.
I tried to cook an egg in the shell once when I was younger in a microwave,
no.
and it blew up the microwave.
Yeah, you do it one time,
Yep.
and you're like, ah.
I didn't say anything to my parents,
Yeah.
but the little green piece of screen that tells you what the digits in the countdown, it was canted and all weird. And like a month later, my dad said something, or I think it was my dad said, "Put out in the microwave." Well, I don't know. That's interesting. As I'm secretly digging shell I didn't catch out of the hinge or something.
We also got invited to go to the collector's range.
What is the collector?
The collector. So the collector is a YouTube guy.
Okay.
He has over 1 million followers on YouTube. Super neat dude. He's got a massive collection of guns. Amazing range.
Is that the guy that you had the picture with said you finally met somebody with more?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. That's cool.
He was in our booth for like an hour.
Yeah.
And everybody was walking by and they were like, oh my gosh, that's the collector. I was like, I don't even know this guy. Just a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know, but everybody's like, he's a big old YouTube celebrity. And
Wow.
I mean, I don't really. That's the thing. Like you're walking by these people, you don't know who they are.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You know?
Yeah.
But we got invited to his range. He's like, anytime you want to come out, here's my cell phone number. So I'm texting buddies with the collector. He's like, whenever you want to come out, let's go to the range. He got tons of guns. He's got mini guns and
Does he have any tanks?
he has tanks.
You got to go shoot at tanks.
Well, I mean, if we go, you're coming with.
Well, everyone heard it. Where's the range at?
In Colorado.
Colorado.
We also got invited to Steve Dillon's range in Scottsdale, Arizona.
They met
The
the
inventor of the minigun.
No kidding.
Super cool guy.
Didn't he have something to do with the GAU-19 helicopter minigun?
Guess what he's doing these days? He doesn't even care about machine guns. Guess what he's doing these days?
Railguns? Laser guns?
You would think he makes sunglasses. His passion is making sunglasses. I bought a pair of sunglasses from the inventor of the minigun.
Hopefully he autographed them. Like right across the front so you can't see through them.
I probably would have if I would have thought of it.
Well,
The guy's an absolute legend, and he makes sunglasses.
if you have his number, you could send him an autographed can and he'll send you some autographed glasses.
Yeah.
It's outstanding, man. I'm amazed at the kind of people or the level of networking you were able to accomplish at SHOT Show.
It's all God stuff. It's
Yeah.
like everywhere we went, we were like, oh, hey, it's so-and-so. And it was like at a time when no one else was visiting with them or they weren't at their appointment yet. So
You didn't have to interrupt anybody.
no, it was all like appointments.
At any point during SHOT Show, did you start to feel at the same level as them? Like, or did you still?
No.
No, you still felt like the little dude going,
I'm just a guy.
wow.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe off-grid suppressors should start a YouTube channel and like,
Well, I think we tried that, and YouTube is not real friendly to anything dealing with the Second Amendment.
I wonder how they were able to do it.
I have no idea.
I wonder if by the time YouTube caught on to what they were doing, they had too big a following.
Well, I mean, Demolition Ranch, they got a lot of followers before YouTube went 2A crazy, shutting everybody down. But he actually retired because of how difficult YouTube was to work with. He doesn't even have a channel anymore.
I wonder if when President Trump leaves office, he could do for YouTube what he did to social media with Truth Social, like Truth Video, Truth Tube.
We tried Truth Social, and there's nobody on it.
It's all AI or spammers that just live on there. You know, the 600-pounders that eat their McDonald's and just keyboard warrior attack everybody in their comments and their posts. And I was on there briefly when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and after about 15 minutes, I just, as quickly as I'd become a member, I uninstalled or deleted the account because I got sick and tired of seeing on Truth Social people and their disgusting comments about Charlie Kirk.
Well,
what
that
happened.
was everywhere.
Yeah, but I guess I was hoping to go to Truth Social and not see that. But you're exactly right. That's all there is on Truth Social. It was disappointing.
I mean, that was on Facebook too. You know,
Yeah.
I do a lot of book face.
Yeah, I guess it was almost expected on
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram and what is it called now? Twitter? No, X.
X.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do X.
So I don't know. I wish that anybody that profiled conservatives because we vote the way we do and own firearms would profile the people saying such disgusting things on social media.
We're the good guys.
Right.
Yeah, we're
Like
the good guys.
the people doing the harm and making those comments are the people you need to be paying attention to. I don't give a damn what political party you're a part of. That shouldn't exist.
I agree. But I mean, there is something called the freedom of speech.
Sure.
And sometimes the freedom of speech is really ugly.
Yeah,
And
it's
you
a
know,
big
if I don't want to listen to it, I just walk away.
Yep.
I'm not going to stop somebody from their freedom of speech because, I mean, what I find offensive that somebody's saying, they have the right to say it.
absolutely.
If it's terrible, they have the right to say it. Because, I
that's-
mean, tomorrow it might be me saying something that they don't like.
But that's why you don't see conservatives at protests.
Yeah.
You know, because
We value the freedom of speech.
we fought for that Second Amendment, or
Exactly.
we fought for the freedom of speech. And because we have thick skin, we're able to say, okay, well, you're wrong, but I'm going to go back to whatever I was doing.
And you have the right to assemble and the right to protest. You have those rights.
Right. And I'm not saying you don't.
Just be
but
peaceful.
The freedom of speech bugs people the way they do because, you know, I think they want it to. But I didn't serve in the Marine Corps and do what I did to attack my ideology of the Constitution on others. The freedom of speech applies to everybody. You can say something about me that's not true. It just makes you ignorant, but you're free to say it.
Really, the people who have the power are the ones that are quiet. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
walk softly, carry a big stick. The people who have the power are usually the quiet people. And the ones that are loud are the ones that know that they're not in control and they have no actual power.
Yeah. And I think that they're desperate to be somebody.
I mean, everybody is.
That's why I decided to be a gunsmith.
Right on.
You know, I wanted to. I just felt like my skills that I had acquired thus far in life were being wasted sitting in a booth and processing paperwork. But I also wanted to leave something to my kids.
Wait, you were DMV? No.
No, I was. I'm gonna have a moment here.
Could you imagine Mike sitting behind the counter at the DMV? We could make a television series about this.
Thanks.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Watch it.
Have you seen the TV show DMV?
It's hilarious.
It is so funny. The episode where he's like, no, I got to teach you to walk slower. My God. I about
DMV.
died. That's better.
Lately, we've been watching Reacher.
That show is awesome.
We're about halfway through the second season, and I don't know how they're going to do better than the first season.
Have you seen the movies?
With
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I think that the series is better,
The series is really darn good.
but that guy, I don't know his name, but the lead actor, that water.
He's a giant liberal. He's an anti-gun liberal.
Is he?
I'm not even joking. He's the
from-
big dude from Ungentlemanly Warfare. Oh, yeah.
He's from Grand Forks.
My mom and dad were going to boycott the movie because they weren't going to go see his Ungentlemanly Warfare. But my dad was like, you know what? It looks good. We're going anyway.
I wonder how many people in Hollywood that are liberal and like that are simply like that to stay employed.
That could be. I mean, it's the hip thing to do.
Like the guy, I'm sorry, I can't think of his name. I think you've met him, Hercules.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Oh, yeah. I hung out with him. I was going to
Yeah.
go to Greece with him.
Yeah. He got blacklisted because
He did.
spoke out about his political preference.
And this is going to kill me if I can't remember his name.
I think his name is actually Hercules.
We will refer to him as Hercules
Yeah.
until I remember his name. Kevin Sorbo.
There
There
it
it
is.
is.
The guy is so cool.
Yeah.
He is.
Humble.
Yeah, that was during a book signing, right? Like
Yeah.
Brant Johnson, friend of mine from Bemidji, wrote a book about an accident he had. And I think he was at that same thing, if not showcasing his book, but it was all in the same amalgam about a year ago. So I haven't read the book. anyway, there are a lot of actors and actresses that I think get booted from Hollywood because they don't.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Uh,
If you go against the grain and you're not like-minded like the rest of Hollywood, you do get blacklisted.
yeah. So I wonder if Reacher was a completely different person behind closed doors, and puts on a Trump hat and goes and shoots a Mini 14 or something.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, you probably live in the gym looking like he does, but he might work out with, you know, matching Colt revolvers.
Maybe. Who knows?
Um,
I don't know him personally.
yeah, I don't know if I really want to. Anyone that works in Hollywood can just stick to the movies. It's got to be exhausting.
I'm a big Keanu Reeves fan.
You?
If I ever get the chance to meet him, yeah, I guess he's just a super down to earth guy. Like,
Yeah, I've heard of that where you see those things on social media where he drives himself to and from places
and
and
he drives
eats.
like a '89
Yeah,
Honda Accord or something.
or he's on his Ducati.
Well,
Or
he has his own brand of motorcycles. He's all in with motorcycles. He actually owns his own motorcycle company, and his motorcycles start at $80,000.
ah,
I want one.
yeah. Wonder what a couple of suppressors on the exhaust pipes would do for us. I don't even know what that would sound like. Yeah, but I have heard that he is humble, takes the train, takes pictures with people, and then the one time he snaps because people are harassing him, it's all of a sudden who he is. When it's like, okay, you know what? The idiots that wouldn't leave him alone are why he snapped, and I think anybody would have snapped long before he did.
You know, Josh Duhamel lives like 45 minutes away from here, right?
Yep. I'm kind of hoping he needs a gunsmith someday.
You know, I was talking the other day. I was like, he has never been in this store before, which I find surprising because within a 45-minute radius of here, what options do you have for an amazing gun store?
I think a lot of these people
Not many.
that live quiet lives shop online.
But he lives out here with his family. He wants his family to know where food comes from,
Yep.
to not be raised in LA. It's his off-grid homestead.
I think I commented a couple of times. I follow him on Instagram.
His last movie was titled Off Grid, and he's never been to Off Grid.
I'm gonna tag him in this.
Tag Josh Duhamel. Josh, you are invited to Off Grid for a personal tour.
Yeah. And we may not let you leave until you do a podcast with us.
That'd be really cool to have,
Yeah.
A nationally known celebrity besides Blake to be in the podcast.
And that might be why he doesn't come to places like this.
I mean,
the doors lock right behind him. He's like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
What
No,
did I get into?
I don't know. I've met a lot of celebrities, and I just don't get excited like a lot of people do. The most excited I ever got was when I met Travis Pastrana. That was the greatest celebrity I'd ever met.
He races 5 miles from here.
In
Yeah, the Forest Riders
in
rally.
is it Detroit Lakes?
No. Rock Creek General Store is where they headquarter out of. They do
Okay.
that Forest Riders rally where they drive these Subaru cars down forest roads doing 150 miles an hour.
I've met him 2 or 3 times during the Anaheim rounds 1, 2, and 3 Supercross. It was the greatest thing that I think will ever happen to me when it comes to just luck. Bought my ticket to Anaheim round 1, I forget the year, from a ticket shark right off of Angel Stadium, and I went in and was walking the pits, and this just buff bald guy from the Parts Unlimited pit said, "Hey, Devil Dog." And I'm looking around. Of course, there's got to be 1,000 Marines there. Nope, it's my stupid high and tight self with my icon jacket on. And he's like, "Gee, chow yet?" No. Well, come on in here and get some chow. And he lets me into the Parts Unlimited tent where the trailers are at, and I got myself some food and I sat down to eat. And he was the security guy. He let people in and out, and he was the truck driver. And he ultimately asked me, "Who's your favorite driver?" or something like, have you ever met him? And I was like, "No, I've never met anybody. I just got back from Iraq. I'm on my motorcycle, and first time ever to Supercross." And he opens the door to the RV, and he's like, "Help yourself." And I took 3 steps up, and there's Travis Pastrana with his leg in a brace because he just destroyed his knee for the whateverth time. And Ryan Villapoto is sitting there, and I can't think of his name, but I feel terrible now. But there was 4 of them sitting there, and all I knew was Travis Pastrana because of Nitro Circus.
Yeah.
And I went up and I was like, "Hi, I'm Mike," and Jake was his name. He's like, "I let me in here to say hi." And
Jake let me in.
Yeah.
Blame Jake.
And he's like, "Yeah, he does that." Have a seat, man. And I missed the first and second heat because I'm sitting in this trailer having a beer with Travis Pastrana.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Pretty
Ah,
cool.
and I just nothing better has happened yet, you know? And I went to round 3 the same year, and Travis Pastrana remembered me.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, Mike, how you doing?" I'm like,
No way.
yeah, I'm not kidding.
He
That's
remembered
cool.
your name. Okay,
Still,
that's pretty dope.
and, I didn't get to go in and eat free food that time, but yeah, I was like, "He's signing autographs," and he asked, "Hey, do you want a picture or do you want an autograph?" And I was like, "No." Like, I had a beer with you last time I was here, I'm fine. But he's like, "No, no, no, come on, get a picture." And he took a picture with me. He's like, "No one's ever gonna believe this unless you take a picture." So, yeah, I took a picture with him, and this was 20 some years ago now,
That's
you know?
awesome.
He since then, when I was a state trooper, he had one of his kids needed bone marrow. I think Kate and I went and got tested, but, yeah, just the nicest person I think I'll ever meet. Makes time for everybody. The kind of person that collapses on the couch because they can't make it to the bed because 'cause they're just too busy giving themselves to everyone else. It was a lot of fun. Jeremy McGrath. How did I not he was in there. Chad Reed. They're coming to me now. It was the greatest moment in my life. Like, I literally was on leave from my deployment and that happened. Anyway, yeah, getting back on track, if we could get Josh
Dumel.
to come in here,
That'd
that
be awesome. It'd be really cool to get him in here. I don't know if he's into guns or not. I mean, if people aren't into firearms or suppressors, like they're not going to come in here.
I'm willing to bet he is. I mean, who buys that kind of land in Minnesota to teach their kids to provide?
You never know.
Oh, yeah. I hope I'm
Not everybody in Minnesota is into firearms.
good point. And he is
Yeah.
an actor, but he was
Never met.
married to Fergie, right?
I have no idea.
I thought he was.
I haven't stalked him that much. Actually, I've never stalked him.
Well, take a little drive down the road.
No, thanks.
You could be caught on security camera footage and ask him. Here.
Hey, Josh, can you come out here? That'd be a bad mistake, probably.
It'd be a great story.
That's
though.
not how I want to know if he owns firearms.
Or the boundaries of his property.
Yeah.
That would be. That would be.
Oh, I got to meet Black Rambo.
I saw that. I don't know who Black Rambo is.
Dude, he's like 6 million, 8 million followers on YouTube.
I don't do YouTube. Do you know who? I'm gonna butcher her name. Lena McCulloch.
Jerry Mikulic's daughter.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I followed them both for a while when they were shooters for SIG,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're Mossberg.
Yeah, Mossberg.
Just blew me away. In fact, I think I bought a Smith or a SIG MPX. In fact, I forgot I even owned it until now. But that 9mm,
Peace.
because I watched videos of what they did at the range with that gun, and I thought I need that in my life. I've shot it twice, and I feel bad because it's expensive. But
It's a nice rifle.
yeah. But yeah, it's still. I think for a long time it will continue to just amaze me at how much you were able to take from SHOT Show.
Dude, it was an amazing advertising opportunity, and we didn't know what it was going to turn into. We rolled the dice, and we're like, you know what? We just got to go. And so we took 8 people with us. 2 people from the East Coast, from New Jersey, came out and helped, and 1 guy from the cities, 1 guy from over by Fargo,
Well,
and then 4 of us.
it was still probably a lot of work.
We put on probably
5
miles a day
of
of just
walking.
walking.
But yeah, it was 5 days of just 6:30 in the morning until 8:30 at night.
Yeah, I would like to. I'm going to continue to invest in Northern Minnesota gunsmithing, and hopefully, if I'm able to go next year, I could have more to network with, more to offer. Because I've been making a list of things that I can do to help grow Northern Minnesota gunsmithing and create revenue during slow months.
Yep.
Um, like a holster design that Kate and I have thought about for the last 15 years, or some jigs that I think other gunsmiths would benefit from. But if I'm going to go to SHOT Show and talk about them and show them off, I'd like to have a patent on them first.
Exactly. Yeah, if it's
I
not patented, even if it is patented, someone's gonna steal it.
or
Yes.
tweak one little thing about it and make it their own.
I'm telling you, the industry is cutthroat.
And I need to be willing to keep up with that. But I think one hot topic I wanted to kind of get your opinions on before we wrap up today's episode is that ICE shooting that happened in Minneapolis with Renee. I forgot her name.
Good.
Thank you. Her name's Good or Good
Mhm.
that I okay. So we've all watched the 20 different camera angles from what happened. And whether she should have been there or not is not necessarily what I want your opinion on, but the actions of that officer that fired the shots. Do you think those shots were justified?
That's a great question. So, in our permit to carry class, we talk about what is a weapon and what can be used as a weapon. And on the list is a pen, a pencil, a chair, a hammer, a screwdriver, a stick, a broom can be considered a weapon. Your hands and feet can be considered a weapon. And then we talk about vehicles in our class. And I say, can a vehicle be used as a weapon? And then I inform the class that vehicles, in fact, kill more people every year than firearms do.
Yep.
And everybody agrees a vehicle is a weapon. I mean, it's a 2,000-pound missile.
When I went through the Highway Patrol Training Academy in South Dakota, they told me,
Yeah.
use your vehicle if you have to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it is a weapon.
Yep.
And yeah, law enforcement will use a vehicle to stop another vehicle
Right.
or to stop a person if that's the only weapon you have at the time. I don't know any of the details, but I do know that a vehicle is a weapon. And if you advance towards an officer or hit an officer with a vehicle, you have just committed a attempted murder.
Yep.
Or an assault, a first degree assault. And I mean, I I am never gonna armchair quarterback. I'm never gonna tell you I'm an expert, but all I can tell you is a vehicle is absolutely a weapon. Was it justified? I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was, and I'm not gonna say it wasn't.
From
I'm pleading Switzerland over here.
Yeah.
from being a former officer, I think that he was obligated to get out of the way. He had the option of he had to take one step to his right. He would have seen that wheel turn completely to her right. And you know what? If there was a warrant to be issued for her arrest, they could knock on her front door later that day.
I don't know, man. I'm like on the fence. I'm like, you know what?
But like I've been there. Like I've been in these situations, high stress, high risk. Should the gun even have been drawn? Maybe. And I think they were drawn because yeah, that vehicle is a weapon.
Yeah. But at
But
the same time, you profile who you're interacting with.
yeah, and it's just being an ornery middle-aged woman with
Yeah.
nothing better to do with her day.
I
And
could never assume to
Yeah.
tell law enforcement how to do their job. Like, I've never been in those boots,
it's weird.
so I can't even.
There are two times that come to mind when I was a state trooper where after the fact people were like, "Why was your gun still holstered?
Mm.
Why didn't you have your firearm drawn like everybody else?" I couldn't justify it. Okay, just because you have 6 firearms pointed at this person during a felony arrest
Mhm.
didn't necessarily mean you needed 10. So, I mean, granted, I had 2 deployments overseas. One was on a ship, but yeah, I had a lot of experience in the streets of places like Ramadi and Al Qaim and Fallujah with a firearm pointed at people, de-escalating, escalating, knowing at what point is that point of no return, and you got to start throwing rounds downrange. Bringing that stateside, that's a big gray area. Everybody could be out to hurt you, but you're obligated to give the benefit of doubt. But in my opinion, I think that the shots should have never been fired.
We
And
can't, we don't get to do that though.
I was disappointed to see the actions of the officer. I just wish he would have given another 3 seconds.
Every
know?
situation can be avoided, but law enforcement's not trained to avoid a situation. Law enforcement is trained to intercede in a situation and stop a situation. So
Right.
it's different for them. Like what I would train somebody is you see a threat, walk to the other side of the street. You win every fight you avoid. Law enforcement does the opposite. They're
Mhm.
there to stop a threat.
They're to go towards it.
They go towards it and they stand in front of it until
Right.
it stops. So I mean, it's a totally different ball game, man. Like
Yep.
I can't
And
even like my opinion literally doesn't even matter.
sure.
It
I
doesn't.
was just interested to know what you thought.
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
I understand that there's
I see both sides. I mean, I see both sides.
sure.
I mean, if I was pulled over and I was in my vehicle and law enforcement demanded that I get out of my vehicle, I'm turning off my vehicle and I'm getting out of the vehicle. I'm going to comply with law enforcement 100% of the time.
Right. And I don't understand. I don't know any of the ICE
Yeah.
rules of engagement or their
Well, they're
policy.
federal agents.
Yeah.
You know, it's federal, man.
So,
if they ask you to get out of your vehicle, you say yes, sir.
yeah.
Exactly.
And the fact that his actions were justified by his superiors, I as an officer, whatever little experience I have as an officer, would like to think I'd handle it different.
I mean, your opinion actually matters more than mine because you've actually been in law enforcement.
Well, you have certainly had a firearm in your hands probably more than I have.
Yeah. Well,
So
maybe.
come on, come on, you know.
Maybe.
I would, when I was a state trooper, my gun stayed in the holster unless I was at the range.
Exactly.
You know, you're 2-3 times a day on Facebook showing off a cool gun, and Full Auto Fridays, I hope
Yeah.
come back soon, you know.
Well, they're starting on Friday.
So you have had a gun in your hands more than I have. Your confidence, your control, and your training, I was interested to know your opinion. But just because I have had a gun pointed at more people and I've had to be in those situations where I was justified to discharge if that's what I felt. I took pride in the fact that I never felt like my life or anyone's life around me was in danger to that point. Just because they had a knife in their pocket, I'd tell them. So long as, or like during a traffic stop, oh, there's a firearm in my glove box.
I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
see it.
So long as that firearm stays in that glove box, we're not going to have a problem. Come out of the vehicle, you know. But I would like to think that I would have handled it differently, and that is, what do you call it, armchair quarterbacking.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for doing that? Probably, but
And that's human nature is to examine what happened and try to learn something from it. And that's what I did too. I'm like, okay, it could have gone tons of different ways, but that's not what happened.
But and I think I really see it the way that I do because I
Agree. I agree.
debatable topic, and I let it go when I realized that his commanding officers, his chain of command justified his actions. Let it go. I mean, there are going to be 1,000 cameras and 1,000 whiners saying otherwise. She should have never been there. The warrant they were trying to serve was for someone else, and she was impeding the arrest. So there was an arrestable offense upon arrestable offense, and they were trying to arrest her, and she was trying to flee the scene of a crime, which is another arrestable offense. You know, and I think the biggest determining factor in the actions of that officer was it 6 months ago he was dragged under a vehicle for the same thing, you know, and he should have never been in that situation because of his experiences. But again,
With that note, we should probably end. We've gone over again every time.
yeah.
It's supposed to be an hour.
But
Yes.
I do hope soon to get a portrait of you in that beard. I want to hang it in my bathroom mirror for goals. You know, if I could
Come on.
get this to match.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, thank you so much. It's good to be back in these seats talking about this. We took our break and we're going to get back into routine. I don't know if it's going to be every week still. I think
It
maybe.
should be every week.
So, yeah. And with that said, thank you so much for joining us and we will see you next time.
All right. Thanks for joining us,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Thanks.